I'm Moheshwar. Today we are discussing about the Newton's second law of motions. In this lecture, we'll discussing about that the first of all we know about that the first law of the Newton's first law. Whenever the what is something whenever the object in motion on that time, if we are not applying any kind of external force on that time, it will be in continuous of its motions. And whenever we are discussing, whenever the any object is placed on something on that time, there are the no external force, it will be on the steady conditions are there, so remaining the steady conditions are there. So this is the basic first of the Newton first law. Now we will discussing about that the first law refer to the simple case when the net external force on a body is zero. The second law of motion refer the general situations when there is a net external force acting on the body. So see here, it related the net external force on the accelerations of the body. So it is related to the net external force on the acceleration of the body. So see here, the momentum of the body is defined to be the product of its mass m and the velocity v, and is denoted by p. So p is equals to m into v, where m is the mass of the any object and v is the velocity of the any object. So this is the momentum. It will be used to the momentum. So momentum is clearly a vector quantity. The following common experience indicate the importance of this quantity for considering the effect of the force on a motions. Now see here, suppose a lightweight vehicle, say a small car, and a heavyweight vehicle, say a loaded truck, are parked on a horizontal road. We all know that much greater force is needed to push the truck than the car to bring them to same speed in the same time. So similarly, a greater opposite force is needed to stop heavy body than light body in the same time. So if they are moving with the same speed, so if two stones, one light and the other heavy, one light and other heavy, and drop from the top of the building, a person on the ground will find it easier to catch the light stone than the heavy stones. So the mass of body is thus an important parameter that determine the effect of force on its motions. So speed is the another important parameter of the consider a bullet fire by a gun can easily price human tissue before it stops, resulting in the casualty. The same bullet fire with the moderate speed will not cause much damage. Thus, for a given mass, so the greater the speed, the greater is the opposing force needed to stop the body is certain time. So taken together, the product of mass and velocity. So that is the momentum. So it is eventually the relevant variable of motions. The greater the change in the momentum is given time, so the greater is the force that need to be applied. That it means there are the something is that whenever we are throwing in a air on the tank, suppose there are the mass into velocity are there. So but there are the something is that accelerations also are there. So whenever we are applying the mass into accelerations on that time, it will be get that whenever we are falling here, when in the first in the exam one of example we are considering that the one of lighter particles and the another is the heavy stones are there. On that time you are dropped from the top of the building. On that time what will happen, there are the something is gravitational force apply on that, and also due to the gravitational force there are the something is the gravity are act on the stones. So on that time, so both the stones will be put on the surface at the same time. Okay, it will be forced on the same time, but there are the something is different is that what, that the mass and the accelerations is that difference. So due to this phenomena there are the something is that, so see here now, the voice of the other hand in ski novice, his other hand, his hands fixed and the tides to catch the ball almost instantly. He needs to provide a much greater force to stop the ball instantly. So, and this hard the conclusion is clear. Force not only depend on the change in momentum, but also what is the but also how fast the change is brought about. So the same change in momentum brought about the shorter time needs a greater apply force in short, the greater rate of change of momentum, the greater is the force. So it means the change of momentum there the greater is that force. Now see here, there are the observation of confirmation that the product of mass and velocity and is basic to the effect of force on motion. Suppose a fixed force is applied for a certain interval of time on two bodies, different mass initially at the rest, the lighter body pick up greater speed than the heavier body. So however, at the end of the time interval, observation shows that each body acquires the same momentum. Thus, the same force for the same time cause the same change in the momentum for different bodies. So this is crucial clue to the second law of motions. So see here, in the preceding observation, the vector of characters of the momentum has not been evident in the example. So far, momentum and change in momentum both have the same direction. But this is not always the case. Suppose a stone is rotated with the uniform speed in a horizontal plane by means of the string, the magnitude of the momentum is fixed, but its direction change. A force is needed to cause this change in momentum of or vectors. So this force is provided by our hand through the string. Experience suggests that our hand needs to exert a greater force if the stone is rotated at a greater speed or in a circle of a smaller radius or both. So this corresponds to the greater accelerations or equivalent greater rate of change in momentum vector. So this suggests that the greater the rate of change of momentum in vector, the greater is the force applied. So it means the force is necessary to changing the directions of momentum if even if a magnitude is constant, we can feel this while rotating a stone in a horizontal circle with the uniform speed by means of a string. So these equality observations lead the second law of motions expressed by the Newtons as a laws. So the rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to the applied force and take place in the directions in which the force acts. So the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force and take place in the directions in which the force acts. So thus, if under the axis of force P f of the time interval delta t and the velocity of body of mass m change of v to v plus v to v plus delta v. So its initial momentum is that p is equals to mv and the change of momentum is that delta p is equals to m into delta v. So according to the second law, f is proportional to the delta p by delta t. So for f it is equals to k into delta p by delta t. So k is the where k is the constant proportionality taking the limit. So see here, delta t tends to 0, so the term of delta p upon delta t becomes the derivative of the differential coefficient of p with respect to t denoted by the dp by dt. So thus see here, f it is equals to f proportional, there are the proportionality constant are there. See here, f it is equals to proportionality are there and delta p upon delta t, so it is equals to f is equals to k delta p by delta t. So here we are taking that the delta p tends to 0, the term of delta p becomes that derivative or differential coefficient of p with respect to t, so denoted by the dp by dt. So see here, f it is equals to k dp by dt. So for a body of a fixed mass, so it is equals to dp by dt is equals to d by dt is equals to m into v. But there the mass is constant are there, so there we have derivative with respect to velocity. So dv by dt is equals to, but we know that that value of dv by dt is equals to accelerations are there. So the second law can also be written as f is equals to k m a, which shows that the force is proportional to the product of mass and accelerations a. So unit of force has not had not been defined so far. In fact, we use equations to define the unit of force. We therefore have the liberty to choose any constant value for k. So simplicity, we choose the k it is equals to 1. So the second law is that the dp by dt is equals to m into a. So that is the SI unit of force is not one that cause an accelerations of 1 meter per second squared to a mass of 1 kg. So this unit is known as the Newton Newton, it is equals to 1 N, it is equals to 1 kg meter per second square. So let us note at this stage some importance point about the second law. If the second f it is equals to 0 implies it is equals to 0, and the second law is obviously consistent with the first law. So second thing is that the second law of motion is a vector law. It is equivalent to the three equations for each component of vector. F of x is equals to dp by dt, it is equals to max. Also f of y is equals to dpy by dt, it is equals to may, and also the f of z is equals to dpz by dt, it is equals to maz. So this means that if the force is not parallel to the velocity of the body but makes the sum g angle with its change only the component of velocity along the directions of force, the component of velocity normal to the force remain unchanged. For example, in the motions of projectile under the vertical gravitational force, the horizontal component of velocity remain unchanged. And the second law of motions Q's is applicable to the single point particles. So the force F in the law stand for the next external force is that, see here, on the particle, and A stands for acceleration of the particle. It turns out, however, that the law in the same form of apply is to the rigid body, or even more generally, so to a system of the particle. So in that case, F refer to the total external force on the system, and A refer to the acceleration on the of the system as a whole. So more precisely, A is the acceleration from the center of mass of the system, about which we shall study in details in the chapter number 7. So any internal force in the system are not to be included in the F. And the fourth thing is that the second law of motion is local relation with, which means that the force F at the point in a space location of the particle at the certain instant of time is related to the A at that point at that instant. Accelerations here and how now is the determined by the force here and now, so not by any history of the motions of the particles are there. So this is our figure is that, see, accelerations at the instant is determined by the force at the instant. So the moment after the stone is dropped out of an acceleration strain, it has no horizontal acceleration or force. If air is resistance is neglected, the stone carries no memory of its accelerations with the train a moment ago. Okay, so there the motions will be changed with this with respect to time. So they not remain. What about the last accelerations are there? So this is the basic things are there. So this thing phenomena we will just consider in these lectures. After that we will be discussing about the another topic. Thank you guys, thank you so much. If any kind of problems, if any kind of doubt, then comment in the comment box. Thank you so much guys.